Hey, kings and queens, welcome back and welcome if you're new here. My name is Hope King and I'm the designer of King's Designs MD. Today, I'm showing you how I'm putting together what I call the baby shower tower. I was given some items and asked to put together a baby shower gift basket. And so you see me working on this right here. It is honestly a labor of love. It was probably the biggest gift I have ever put together, and I am happy how how it came out. This gift was really massive. What you see here is the back of the gift. Eventually, you're going to see me turn it around to the front of the gift. But when I got the items, I got the basket, knowing I wanted to do a tower style, but I did not know it was going to be this massive. It was so big, you might see some of the paper insert on the table, but I had gotten a gift contractor paper from Lowe's and had stuffed the bottom, but the gift was so massive with so many items. I had to take the stuffing out to be able to get all the items into one basket. So essentially, when you see at the bottom of the basket is stuffed with extra items from the gift. So the gift came with multiple packs of bibs and multiple onesies and things like that. So instead of using the traditional tissue paper or contract paper or craft paper, whatever you would put in the bottom, I ended up actually stuffing it with the items that would be the gift because it was just so massive to get everything in there. So that's one thing. If you have seen me do the chocolate tower, this is similar to the chocolate tower where I use foam board. So many of the items at the top are hot glued with foam board, and then the foam board is inserted into the base and all the items are added on. I had to use a massive amount of tape for this gift, and I actually used packing tape for some parts of the inside of the gift. You see me sliding the gift over to the edge of the table so that I can get the bottom tape down because it is so heavy. Now, again, like I said, I use a lot of tape for this gift and I use a lot of packing tape on this gift. What I had to do is start from the back of the gift and apply packing tape and pull it forward to the front of the gift because I wanted to make sure that the weight was evenly distributed so it didn't just topple over at any moment. So if you can see it wiggling a little bit, that's cool because initially I had it up against the wall. When I do gift towers, I tend to do them up against the wall so it has some stability until I can get the finished product done. But I am just working and working and working, guys. And if you see me dancing, there's no music. I'm singing in my head because every time I went to record, of course, my music was shut off. So I'm like dancing in my head and singing along to music that's not there. So I don't know if anybody else does that or you listen to music. I was listening to music before I started recording. So this is done to the soundtrack of Glorilla because I was just having a good time making this basket. But anyway, you see me starting to shrink wrap, and it seems to be taking me a long time with the shrink wrap process because it just felt like this hair dryer was not going to get hot enough for me. I used to have a heat gun. Essentially, it was a dryer that was more like a heat gun. It got really hot, but I would burn stuff to a crisp. And at one point, I was doing something to it and broke it. So, yeah. So I'm stuck with this, but it's doing its job. It's getting it done. It's just taking a little bit longer than I expected, but it's all good. If you saw, I told you before, I put a massive amount of tape on this because I don't know if you guys know, but if you try to use shrink wrap without taping the sides appropriately, it just starts making some kind of noise like underwear blowing in the breeze. So I try to make sure it's taped down as possible because it just makes a strange sound and starts to like shrink wrap in areas that you don't want shrunk because then your item won't be taped together. So you see me going back in and adding more tape because when it started shrinking, there was one area that I really didn't catch. But that was it. Okay, so what you're seeing here is me doing the bow part of the video. And basically what I did is put it on a mat from the Dollar Tree, one of the little cutting mats that you find in the craft section. And I just wrap and wrap and wrap until I get the amount of bows that I want. Now I'm using ribbon from Sam's Club. This ribbon is kind of sheer and it's really, really glittery. Sometimes it has me looking like I have a night job, but you'll probably see glitter falling off everywhere as I'm doing this. But I just wrap until I get the amount of bows that I want. And then you're going to see me checking it, because whatever side you start on, you want to finish on the opposite side. So at some point, you're going to see me take this off. And I think I might have got 12 loops out of this on my bow. So you will see me slide this off. Yeah, my ribbon went rolling across the floor in the middle of this. None of it actually got on the floor, but the spool fell off. So I'm actually going to fold my ribbon in half. First, I'm going to cut off those extra pieces. So when you're using wire ribbon, sometimes that happens and you have the little pieces that stick out. I try to snip them off because I don't want anybody to hurt themselves as I am, giving somebody a gift. But I fold it in half and I want to make sure both sides are even. So you see me press it just so I can have a good space when I unravel it, or not unravel it, when I unfold it. I cut it and I try to cut little slits in it. I don't want to cut it too much because when I've cut it too much, my ribbon has just been loosey-goosey and it's just kind of flipping and flopping everywhere for my taste anyway. I'm getting ready to put my zip tie on it, and I realized I want longer tails than these little mini tails on this great big old gift. So I decided to go back in, pull off more ribbon, and add a longer tail. And I'm just going to pull off an extra piece, fold it in half so I know it's going to be even on both sides, and then cut it. Now I'm going to add my zip tie on. So I'm just going to wrap it around, pull my zip tie through, and just lock it in. I started using zip ties about a year ago when I was making wreaths because, I don't know, I just like the finished look of it. So I have a harder time fiddling with pipe cleaners, or I forget what you call them. But you guys know what I mean. I have a harder time fiddling with those things. So Chanel stems, that's what they're called. I have a hard time fiddling around with them. All that twisting and all that. I just personally don't like it. So the zip tie is a lot easier for me. It's pros and cons to everything. The pro of the zip tie is when you get it on there, it's done. The con of the zip tie is when you get it on there, it's done. So if you made a mistake, you have to cut the whole thing off and you lose the zip tie, as opposed to untwisting the Chanel stem and, just retwisting it if you want. But that's just something I prefer. Other people like different stuff. So I'm just fanning out this bow and trying to get it the way I want it. I am honestly still working on my bows and still learning my bows. Sometimes they come out and I'm thinking, oh, this is amazing. And other times I'm like, oh, dear God, what did I just do? And I try to fix it and fluff it as much as I can. So it's a work in progress for me. If you guys have bow tips, I'll be sure to take it. I know some people use the Bowdabra. Some people use the hand method. I think it's just something that over time I'm going to have to learn how to do and get better at. So any suggestions are welcome. But you're just going to watch me twist this bow until I get it how I want it. And then I'm going to apply it to the top. So to make a long story short, on this video, what you're going to see me do at the end, actually, I don't even think you're going to see me do it in this video, but, ooh, see how pretty it is at the top? Okay, so you probably won't see me do it in this video because I'm not sure I actually recorded it, but as you can see, this gift, because of shrink wrap, it didn't have a fan at the top. It just had, I totally closed it in. So this bow is put up here with glue. So this is hot glued onto the top, and I glued it into several places to make it sit. This is a 360 gift, so it's going to be front and back. So you see a little bit of the bow on the front and just a little tail piece on the back. But yeah, that's what we got here, guys.